Hello, it's Rodney Perez, Patriots for America, militia. And I come to you on this Wednesday, the 25th of May, with an update. Here in Illinois, I'd much rather be in Texas right now with the rest of our Patriots, Patriots for America, as they are down at the border. They went down at the border as we do every month, quite frequently. And I wasn't able to make it this month, but I'm going to be going in a few weeks for the June rotation. And a lot of sad news coming from Texas, actually throughout our country. I mean, we have shootings and murders and violence going on throughout the city of Chicago and Illinois on a daily basis. But when you hear of children being harmed and being killed, it hits you right here. And I couldn't even imagine losing a child, grandchild, family member of any sort to violence like we've been seeing throughout Chicago and what's happened here in Texas. These children only had like a few days left of school, and some evil, rotten killer went in and took the lives. And I believe we are up to 21 children now. And as our team is down at the border at Eagle Pass, Samuel Hall got a message and notifications. We also have third-party journalists that are on our team that were at the border with us yesterday when the call went out of what's taking place over at the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. And Uvalde, Texas there, we met with the mayor about a month ago, with him being very concerned about the immigrants that have been coming through his community, very small community. And we met with him, and we're going to be assisting him in any way that we can. Of course, they are, law enforcement's understaffed with what's coming across the border, and citizens stepping up and being there to assist within the community is appreciated by all law enforcement in Texas. And we will do everything that we can to help the citizens and be safe in their community and also at the border. What we've been seeing at this border is unreal. And what's been happening over the last couple of days, no one can even imagine. So let me step back to yesterday. Our team was at Eagle Pass. They got the notification about what was taking place at the elementary school in Uvalde. Samuel Hall, the founder of Patriots for America, was in contact with the mayor, and our team had went up there to see what was going on, to comfort the victims, the families. And let me tell you, they did a hell of a good job, a hell of a job. I tell you this, we are the hands and feet of Christ, and when we will go anywhere in this country, actually throughout the world, and which Sam has. And wherever we're needed, wherever we can be of any assistance at all, we'll be there. And we went up there and listening to what has been taking place up there, the interviews that our team has been having with the victims' families. And I'll give you a quick one here. They were, our journalist team, Patriots for America, were speaking with a mother and a father yesterday who couldn't find their daughter. They prayed with them, they comforted them, were there for them, and established that one-on-one relationship with them. Samuel Hall got a message today that their daughter was killed along with their nephew. There's no words that can explain how that must feel. I couldn't even imagine. Our team is, we still have a team up there in Uvalde, and we also have a team down at the border because of what's going on down there. Law enforcement's understaffed. And as you'll see, I'll be posting a video just taking place right now as we speak. They're down at the border, and they have right now 40 to 50 immigrants that are coming across, a lot of children. And let me make it clear what we do. Okay, we're not law enforcement. We don't act as law enforcement. We go down there. Our main concern is the children. About over 40% of the children that are coming across are unaccompanied and get lost in the system. No one knows and no one sees or hears from them after they go through the processing. Over 40% get lost in the system. It's a trafficking ring. Don't let anybody tell you different. The things that we've seen down there, that I've seen personally, it hits right here. And let me tell you something. When you see shoes of children on the trails, let me get you. I showed this one of my last videos, but let me get you. I don't think I showed it long enough. When you see women's undergarments and children's undergarments hanging from a tree, the cartels, the coyotes, they get these children. They get these children and women and they rape them right on our territory, right here in America, right in Texas, right on ranchers' lands, right in public. And they will take their undergarments and hang them on a tree. They call them rape trees. Last month when I was down in Texas, we met with a couple individuals with law enforcement. They were off duty. And they showed us video from where we were standing at Eagle Pass, right across the river, which is rock throwing distance, pretty much. It was night vision. We saw the video. There was a group of migrants standing in the field, and two cartels walked over, took a little girl. You could see them. You could see all this taking place. Took the little girl away from the group, and they both gang raped her. Right there in video. This is happening daily. It's been happening for years. It's getting worse. And our job and what we do is when we go to the border is we try to get these children, the ones that are unaccompanied, and we try to save them from this trafficking that's taking place, from anybody else picking them up along the way. And we get them to make sure that they get into law enforcement's hands for processing. As I said, we're not law enforcement. We don't detain. We don't arrest. When we talk to these immigrants, when we see them, we ask simple questions like, would you like to sit down? Would you like some water? We never say sit down. We never say stay here. We never say you can't leave. Okay, we're there to, once they're here on American soil, they're here. We can't send them back. A lot of people say, especially on social media, why don't you kick their asses back? Why don't you make them go back? Why don't you stop them and make them turn around? We can't do that. Under the Biden administration, we've said this many times, once they hit American soil, which is halfway across the Rio Grande River, they're allowed to be here. They're allowed to go through the process. And, they're looking for that asylum. There are some countries that are going to be granted that asylum and some that aren't, like Mexico. If you're from Mexico, you can't come here and claim asylum. You have to go through a process. And before, when Trump was in office, if they were here and if they got here to the United States, they would go through the processing and then deported back until their hearings for immigration status and all that. Under this Title 42 that was they're waiting for, thousands and thousands of more immigrants across the border in Mexico are waiting there from 160 different countries, waiting to come across, waiting for Biden to open up and release that Title 42. Because when Title 42 gets released, everybody from every country can come across into America and claim asylum, and they will be granted it. Court dates could take 1 year to 2 years. No longer do they have to be deported to go back and wait for their court hearings. They can stay here now under the Biden administration. A couple of federal judges had put a freeze because it was supposed to go through. That Title 42 was supposed to be dropped a few weeks ago, I believe. And they put a hold on it. Well, the Democrats, the evil people that they are in office, and yes, they are, because they are, what they're creating in this country is horrible. What they are turning their back on with these children and these women being raped day by day, they're turning their back. They don't see it. They don't want to see it. So here's what they did. Since the judge put a halt on that 42, now the Democrats passed this to where they found a loophole. If they come across the border and get across into America, they will give them an emergency asylum status. That means everybody can come across now. Everybody. And they don't have to go back. They can wait for their hearings, could take years. And they'll be granted that asylum. The Democrats and the Biden administration is doing this for a purpose and doing this for a reason. This is my opinion. And I believe this to be wholeheartedly true. Because of what they've done with the elections, what they've done with this whole, they don't need IDs. Everybody could vote. Everybody can mail in their vote. What the Democrats are wanting to do with elections, to let everybody do it. Well, if they do this with the immigrants and come across the border and allow them all to vote and say vote for us because we're the ones that gave you this freedom in America. We're the ones that are giving you the transportation wherever you want to go in our country. We're the ones that are giving you the freedom. We're the ones that are going to be giving you the jobs. Vote for us, the Democrats. That's what they're doing. That's why they're doing it, and that's why they don't want them to go back, because they want them to be here. It's a scam. So many of these immigrants that we talk to say that after they've been here for a while, they say that they haven't gotten anything that they've been promised, that that Washington had told them that they'd be getting. They do get the transportation, free transportation. They do give them phones. These is all tax dollar funded. Okay, so the Democrats found a way through in Washington to allow them to come across now. So over the next, from here on out, we're going to be seeing a major influx. Just now, within the last hour, our team down at the border at Eagle Pass, you'll see the video because I'm going to post it here shortly. There's over 40 to 50, many children. There's a little girl there, I'd say she was about 9 or 10 years old. Samuel Hall asked where her parents are, and the little girl was tearing up, and somebody had said that the father and the mother got swept down with the current. The river is really high at the Rio right now. The river is really high and the current's really strong, and that was kind of deterring some of them from coming across. But they're desperate. They're desperate. There's drownings there every day. There's children drowning every day. So this little girl is there by herself with no adult supervision, no parents. And this happens all the time. These children are unaccompanied. These little children. Imagine your 9 or 10-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old, 13, 14-year-old children being in a country, in a foreign country to them, surrounded by, they don't know what, they don't know who. They don't know who they can trust. And a lot of them have been raped along the way. Do you know that this is an absolute fact? An absolute fact? Here, right from the reports of Border Patrol. There was a little girl that was, in fact, there's 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls that are coming across here that are pregnant. 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls that are pregnant. There was one little girl that, I guess, semen stays in a body for, I think, up to 24 hours where the semen stays alive, where they can identify the semen to individual. I don't know exactly how that goes, but I'm just saying, from what I understand, there was 24 to 25, I believe. Either way, more than one is too many for these children. Counts of semen in a little girl's body. She was gang raped. And I believe it was over 20 men gang raped her. And she was like 11, 12, 13 years old. It's horrible what's going on. Our hearts break for what happened in Uvalde Elementary School. Our hearts break over that. But we have children also that we need to be concerned about at the border. Women that are being raped daily. It doesn't matter what country they're from. They're children. They're God's children. They are human beings. It doesn't matter if they're from America. They are human beings. These are children that are going to be ruined and damaged for the rest of their lives because of what's happening to them. The abuse that they're going through. And I know our hearts ache for what happened to Uvalde, but these children that are coming into America, they're going to be American citizens, are damaged, are ruined. And we have pedophiles, and we have rapists, and we have criminals coming into this country daily by the thousands. You need to understand what I'm telling you. By the thousands daily. There are some good families that are coming across that just want a better life, but there's a lot of criminals coming across. I'm telling you. I see it, I hear it, and I talk to Border Patrol and law enforcement. We do. We talk to the mayors of these communities. We talk to other sheriffs from other counties. Sheriff McLaughlin from Uvalde, Texas, a super great guy, man. And we hear things that are going on in their communities. In this small community in Uvalde, Texas, it's probably the size of the community that I live in. It's under 20,000. High-speed chases daily. Automatic weapons in these cars. You know, I hear this whole thing today, especially today, yesterday too. Oh, we got to get rid of guns. It's the guns' fault. It's not the guns' fault. You know, look at the drug problem that we have in this country, in this world. Look at the drug problem that we have here. Look at how many years they've been saying every time there's a heroin overdose, we need to do something about the drugs. We need to do something about how many years has that been going on? Right? You can't compare apples, you know, I mean, it's apples to oranges, you know, guns to drugs, but drugs are killing people. And how long have they been trying to do something on this whole drug epidemic that comes on in our country? Never going to get rid of it. It's here. You're never going to stop criminals from getting weapons. The cartels are smuggling guns across daily. Lots of guns. Gangsters in bigger cities are manufacturing their own guns. They don't need permits. They don't need license. They can make their own. They do make their own. They make their own ammunition. So trying to take the guns away from us, from me, and from other law-abiding citizens is absolutely ridiculous, because we're not the ones going out doing it. Okay? We're the ones that are out protecting. Now, when we go down to the border and do what we do, and if you have a problem with what I do, that's your problem, because we're doing what we can to save the children. And we do it. It's working. We see it. I wouldn't be spending, you know, $1,000 to go down to Texas when I go down there for a week. I wouldn't be wasting my money to go down there if we weren't making a difference. We're seeing a difference. We're making a difference. And the cartels, they're evil people. Look them up. Google the MS, I think it's MS-13 or whatever, but Google the cartels in Mexico, United States. See what kind of people they are. They have no problem going to your house, grabbing your wife, your children, raping them, cutting their heads off, and throwing them over a bridge off at the main interstates. Think I'm joking? These are evil people. And they want to kill anybody that gets in their way. And they are coming here. They're coming to your community. If you think I'm joking, you're wrong. And if you think that I'm not going to have an AR-15 or my pistols, a pistol, my 9mm is not going to do anything with the weapons that the cartels have and what the gangs have in Chicago and in Los Angeles and throughout our country. You can't take guns away from law-abiding citizens. You can't do it. It's not going to work. We have the constitutional freedoms and the rights to carry them, to have them. Because when a tyrannical government tries to take that away, we need to stand up and fight for our rights. We don't have issues with government. We don't have issues with police. We back police. We back the blue. We support them 110%. We just don't tolerate, and we don't. We always stand up, whether we have to go to a board meeting, a council meeting, or what have you. We're not going to let corrupt politicians try to take our guns away from us. I don't go hunting. I don't go deer hunting. I don't go rabbit hunting or anything like that. I carry a gun for protection, because there's a lot of crazy people in this world. There's a lot of mean and cruel people that want to kill you. They want to kill me. We have terrorists from these other countries, ISIS, Hamas. If you don't think they're here right now, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. I know for a fact. If you want proof, message me. I'll send you the proof. They're here in Indiana. They're here in Illinois. They're here throughout in Michigan. They're here. And if you don't think they're plotting something else, especially when they get more of them across, you're wrong, because they're coming here from these other countries. Somalia. They're here in America, and they're going to continue coming to America. And if you think that we need to have our guns taken away from us, you're wrong, because you're going to need protection when that time comes, because it's getting worse. This country's getting worse. And let me tell you something else I do firmly believe. Back in the late 80s, I believe the left-wing movement was to start removing God from the church, from the schools, and from public. When did all the school shootings start happening? You remove God, you remove Christ from our schools and from our children, from our families and from our communities, you're covering up the blessings that our country was founded on. One nation under God. You want to turn your back on God? There's consequences. And it's not God giving the consequences. It's freedom of choice that God gives us all. You open the doors for Satan to come in, for the evil to come in. You want to play around with the devil, with the Ouija boards, you want to mess around with the evil in this world? There's consequences to that. And we're seeing that day after day. Ever since Biden got into office, he's opened up the doors for evil. More so than it was before. It's getting worse. You want to know why there's so much chaos? You want to know why everything is, there's so much going on in this country right now? It's because the doors of evil have been opened. Come on in. Let's have abortions. Let's kill baby at birth when they're born. Let's increase abortion. You know, all these people that are on the left wanting to take our guns away, that are, you know, so hurt, which rightfully so, about what's happening with these in the schools, with children being shot, children being killed. They have no problem with the amount of killings that are happening with babies. I'm talking, you know, I'm not talking about the first couple of weeks a woman gets pregnant and has an abortion. I'm talking, you know, I'm talking 6, 7, 8 months through their pregnancy, and they're killing babies. They don't care about that though, do they? Every life matters. Whether you're black, white, orange, or yellow, brown, it doesn't matter. I'm Mexican and I'm proud of it. And that's the other thing. People say, how can you be Mexican and go down the border? Well, majority of all border patrol is Mexican. They have a job to do. We have a country. You know what? I don't care who comes across here, as long as they do it legally, as long as they go through the process and do it right. But we have a lot of criminals that are coming here that can't be caught, that run across and run away. They're smuggling drugs and guns and children. There's nothing that I've been seeing more and more every day. I drive a semi for a living. More and more every day. Every day there's a new billboard, the lighted electronic signs over the interstate. Every day there's a new vehicle, license plate, make, and endangered person missing. Every day it's a different vehicle. It's a different person. It's a different Amber Alert. Things are getting evil in this country. It's getting worse. And it really irks me that people say it's the guns problem. Well, you know what? Let's look at everybody that has gone on these sprees and killed people and children and massive people. Let's look at their family structure. Okay? I'm not saying, and don't get me wrong, there are some great single parents out there. My son, one of them. Okay? I have many friends that are single parents. They do a fantastic job raising their kids. They have upstanding kids. You know, I grew up, my kids, you know, from a divorced family. But my ex-wife and I, we always made sure that our kids have the love, they have the discipline, and there's no bashing on each other. Okay? We have a family structure problem in this country. And kids are being mentally messed up over it. They have no discipline. There's no control. The kids are ruling the roost. And a lot of them are being out of control. But I assure you, just do some research on some of these kids and some of these people that are committing these crimes. I assure you they're coming from lower income families, broken families mainly, with no structure. And then there's mental illness on top of that. And I think a lot of that stems from that. So we all have a part to play. We all have a role to play. And we can do what we can do. And what I do, and my calling to do, is to go down to the border and to go into Chicago like I did 2 weekends ago to feed the homeless at 1:30 in the morning. There's gunfire going 100 feet away from us. Hands and feet of Christ, I'm protected. And, you know, of course, the leftists are going to say, well, if you have God and you're protected, why do you have to wear a vest? Why do you have to wear a gun? It's armor, okay? It's protection. No Christian person should ever say, I have God, nothing's going to happen to me. I don't have to wear the vest, because God created, God made doctors. God gave doctors the ability to do what they do. God gave us the tools that we need to get through and try to survive. But as long as we have the wisdom, we pray for wisdom. and we always have Christ with us, I firmly believe we'll be okay. But I have the tools and I carry the tools just in case, because there are very evil people out there in this world that want to hurt innocent people. And I assure you, whether you like me or you don't like me, if you're ever in harm's way or if you're ever in danger, you can always count on me. I don't need to bring a gun. I'll be there for you. It's because what we do as human beings. We look out for each other. But I'm not going to allow anybody to step on me. I tell you that right now. You're not going to step on me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. If you could do this, pray for Patriots for America that's down at the border in Uvalde right now. Pray for the families, the community in Uvalde, Texas. There's a lot of prayer that's needed. And prayer works. Prayer works. It really does. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen evil with my own eyes, and I've seen good with my own eyes. And I believe in Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, and you should also. It's going to make life a whole lot easier for you. I'm going to be going to Texas the end of June, and message me if you're interested in going. You do need a vest. You do need firearms, just because we're going in dangerous territory. And you can't just go out and buy one. You got to know how to use them. We train too. So if you're trained in firearms and you're level-headed, you don't have any felonies, because we do a background check, we'd like to have you come down to Texas with us, because we need the manpower. Law enforcement needs support, and we're there for that. We have a lot of humanitarian missions that we do while we're down there, making sure that people have water, people have food, because they're human beings. Whether we agree with them or not, whether we support them coming across or not, I support them coming across as long as they do it legally. Okay? Whether we believe in that or not, they're human beings. They're humans. And we have to treat them as so. Okay? We're not going to turn them around. We're not going to kick their ass. But if they try to harm us, then it's a whole different story. We have to protect ourselves and others around us. But just remember that in Texas and here in America, there's children being raped daily. They're being harmed daily. They're being abused. Women also. So go to patriotsforamerica.militia.com. Check out the website. We're looking for somebody we're looking for someone to, keep up on that website for them. So I'm not sure how updated it is right at this point. But go on there. There's an application. Fill out an application if you're interested in joining our team, no matter what state you're from. And, we do background checks, and we're looking for like-minded people. We want people who are like-minded just like us. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what religion you are. As long as you love this country, you're level-headed, you don't have anger management issues, and we can trust you and check out some references. We'd love to have you part of our team. We do more than just go to the border. We go to the missions, Chicago, feed the homeless. We do all kinds of things. If there's a storm, we're going to go and help out there too, because that's what we do. That's what a militia really does. And the left has done a hell of a good job trying to destroy what the word militia is. We're not white supremacists. We're not racists. We love all people. And that's an absolute fact. And our record shows that. Our interviews show it. Our interviews show it. Our live videos show it. So, all right, we're at almost 29 minutes, so I'm going to cut this loose again. Also on the website tab, you can also donate to our organization. We are an organization, and you can donate, you can pray, or you can join us. If you don't have the vests and you don't have the guns and the training and all that, we still want members, because we go to we go to rallies, we go to the streets, we go to missions, we do all kinds of things. So not everybody has to own a gun. Okay, so go on, fill out an application, and or send me a message, and I'll lead you down the right way. Okay, thank you. God bless, and take care. We'll talk soon.